So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my Ayahuasca trip, and I realized that I'm only talking about an experience, so I really don't have to be a perfectionist when it comes to this video. So here I am, explaining my Ayahuasca trip. I took ayahuasca in about August last month, and it was for 2 nighs. The day of, I was mostly painting, and I was also fasting because I didn't want to be puking the whole time. I wanted my trip to be fully me, focused on myself, and not having to purge the entire time. 3 days before, I was mostly drinking soup and smoothies and water, and then the day of, I was fasting. I didn't even have water. I was just painting. There's also a list called the Ayahuasca diet where it's no salt, no sugar, no spicy foods, no sex, and I think that's it. So yeah, I was just fasting and painting the day of. The shaman that provided the ceremony, his name was Ayahuasca, and it was downstairs in the bedroom, and when the time finally came, he came over and we were all sitting down. I felt very relaxed, and it felt like when I was about to go on a roller coaster as a kid. It was a nervousness, but nervousness to this is about to be so cool, it's about to be a fun ride kind of thing. That was happening, and the first thing that happened was he went around with this, I forgot exactly what it's called, but he puts it up each nostril and blows into your nose, because what it does is it opens up your brain so it can be able to receive the ayahuasca, because ayahuasca is 2 plants that are combined, and it creates this chemical compound that gives you profound effects. In our everyday lives, we're not experiencing those profound effects, so our brain has to be opened up so it'll be able to receive the messages that the ayahuasca is giving us. So when he blew this thing in my nose, we were not allowed to move. We were supposed to sit still and just breathe up through our nose, out through our mouths. And man, it burned, okay? It freaking burned. I was just there and then after a while, it just started feeling really super calming and relaxing. And I was just thinking the whole time, whoa, this could honestly be the ayahuasca right now, because the way it was feeling, it was so amazing. I could literally feel my head just clearing up and just moving. And so after that, I was just waiting on everyone else to receive their burning nose openings, and after that, Ayahuasca started to talk about ayahuasca and what we will be experiencing. So the number one thing is to just breathe and sit up the entire time. All ayahuasca wants us to do is just breathe. And he started passing around the ayahuasca and said that we would each drink it at the same time. And I'm just staring at this little cup of brown liquid, just this is it. It's really about to happen. I'm really about to do this. And it was time to drink it, and I did it. It tasted like bitter chocolate. It actually didn't taste gross. It tasted like bitter chocolate. And so I drank it, and I was just sitting there, just calmly breathing, keep my eyes closed, making sure that I'm in a comfortable position so I won't be fidgeting and having that affect the trip. And after a while, I started to feel my body have a strong, profound sensation to where it felt lighter. And I was just oh, here we go. And I was it felt like I was lifting up somewhere. Oh, I forgot one thing. He also said to put an intention in the trip. And the intention that I put in my trip was to just to remember things that I wasn't remembering. That's all. I just wanted to remember even more. In the beginning, I just remember having really sharp pains in my back, my lower back, and it kept getting more and more painful the more I acknowledged it and acknowledged it as pain. And then I realized the pain was in my kidneys, and I was just like, whoa, am I experiencing my dad's kidney stones? Because my dad, when I was little, he kept getting kidney stone breakouts whenever his diet wasn't like drinking a lot of water and mostly alcohol. So I was like experiencing his pain, and all I could do was really just like feel it and breathe through it. So it was really cool to feel his pain and have nothing to do but just surrender to it. So that was one thing that happened. Another thing that happened was I turned into a tree, and my perspective was like, I was just staring up at the sky, and I felt myself growing towards the sun, and my main purpose was just to grow and breathe towards the sun. And it was a very relaxing, stilling moment because I wasn't a person that had memories and experiences and responsibilities and worries and all of that. I was literally just a tree growing towards the sun, and that was literally it. Like, just it felt so good just to be a freaking tree. And also, one thing that happened was the room I was in transformed into a slave ship, and I felt myself being within the slave ship, and everyone around me was like sick, puking, and all that stuff. People were puking and crying, but for me it morphed into like a past experience, like I was an ancestor, and I just felt myself like holding on to my life, like this may be an uncomfortable setting, but I want to live, I want to live on, I want to live on, I will not die, I want to live on. I just felt myself holding on to my life. And after that, I transformed into, I'm not sure exactly what to call it. It wasn't a king, it wasn't an emperor. I would say mostly like a pharaoh, or maybe just a goddess. And I just felt myself on a throne, and my head was really high, and I felt really tall, and I was holding a wand, and I was just overtaken by this huge spirit, and it was like massive. And the energy of that spirit is basically like, you can't tell me shit, I don't mean shit. And it was just like so huge. I was just like, it was amazing. Another thing that happened was I found myself looking in the middle, and I saw two opposite things happening at once, but I kept looking in the middle and seeing both of them at the same time within the oneness. So that was pretty awesome to experience, seeing the neutral point of life. I also became a plant that was getting pesticides and chemicals sprayed on it. Like, I found myself in a room and someone was spraying my face, and I just remember like me holding on or remembering my natural or organic way of being, so the preservatives wouldn't completely wipe out my nutrients or my healing components. So that was pretty cool to go through. I also experienced my parents like pain. It was just a swirl of words, and I just felt their pain that they had with each other, just a swirl of pain. And then that transformed into my current relationship, and I saw myself dying. Like, I was laying on a bed, and I was staring at my partner, and he was like holding on to me and not letting me die. And I was just like, oh, I gotta go, like, I gotta leave, I can't stay. And then I realized that for him to let me go, I had to let him go. And then it switched, and suddenly he was the one leaving, and I was like watching him, and a part of me like wanted to keep him from going. Then I was like, he's not actually leaving. Separation is an illusion. And then it transformed, and all of a sudden my parents' like swirls of pain disappeared. Let's see if I can remember anything else. It was just like, the trip was so cool the first night because it was just a swirl of imagery and words and me morphing into many different beings and experiences at once. Oh, I didn't puke. The entire time I did not puke, so that was really cool. I did poop, I didn't puke. And I didn't poop on myself, so that was really cool. I went to the bathroom. Oh, I almost forgot the really cool one. So, I was a sperm, and I was like swimming towards the egg, and I felt myself like not caring about anything else but reaching the egg. I wasn't even looking at the other sperms around me. I didn't know if there was any sperms around me, but I just felt myself like, egg, 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 get to the egg, 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 egg. And like, that moment truly made me feel like what it was like to fully work on being alive. Like, the whole ayahuasca trip was just like a reminder of me to be like grateful for life, because before that trip I was kind of going back and forth between my old pessimistic viewpoint on life, because I was a very depressed teen and kid. So that trip, the first night, really helped me see like to be grateful for life, for the simple things, and that I'm here for a reason, and it's amazing. Now, before I turned into the sperm in the egg, I heard myself yelling at my mom, and I was just like, you didn't even want me here, I wasn't even planned. You didn't even want me, you didn't even want to be a mother. And I was just yelling, and then I saw myself become the sperm in the egg, and I was just like, nah, you were planned. You did want this. She didn't know, but you knew. You brought yourself here. So that's the ayahuasca was showing me, like, nah, bro, everything was planned. What else happened the first night? Sperm, egg. Yeah, that's what happened the first night. And after the trip was over, my energy felt amazing. Because first of all, I transformed into that pharaoh, king, emperor, goddess, god being. So the fact that I felt that spirit and I saw it as something that was a part of me, because it is a part of me, it boosted my confidence to a whole another level. Because there's a difference between having like an ego confidence. It's like, hey, I'm Connie and I'm cool, you know, I'm pretty awesome, I do this and that, and I've been through this, and I am this, and having that confidence. But to like have your whole existence and feeling your existence and then instantly feeling confident, that's just like, whoa, like I don't even need a reason for this confidence. It's just here because like I'm amazing. And yeah, so that's that. To too, because I experienced the many ways of living, and it made me feel grateful about how life is, you know, to feel myself as a slave that, even though I was in a really, really terrible setting, I was still holding on to the importance of living, and also being that sperm and just like, egg, like, I'm blossoming a life. I'm blossoming a lifetime. Just feeling that, it just made me like see life in a different way and to feel super grateful for this experience that I have going on right now. And that was night one. Now the second night, after going through the first night, I was just like a little kid just bouncing, just like, oh, I'm ready for this. Like, let's go. Like, I don't even have any like unknown, unsettling questions. I didn't have that much the first night, but they're still gonna come. It's just like, you don't know what the hell you're about to do. The second night, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, can I just drink this now? Like, can we just, I want to see what else is gonna happen. This is fucking amazing. So the second night was not at all like the first night. I felt like shit at a certain point. But here's how it started. I was sitting there and all of a sudden I saw The Matrix. Wait, was this the first night or the second night? Oh no, this was the first night. Pardon me, you guys. This is the first night. So the first night I saw The Matrix, and so at a certain point my back like got even more straight, and I saw a light shooting up from my head and connecting to the sun, and it was like the sun was fueling my eyes, and then I just saw like life happening all at once, like life here on this earth, and then I saw it in America and how like people were scrambling around and stuff, but really it's something as simple as just sitting down and breathing and watching how you're responding to life. And then I saw technology and how that's affecting us in some sort of ways, which is ironic because I'm using technology right now, but yeah, so I just saw like The Matrix. I can't exactly explain this one because it just happened like really fast. It was really fast. Yeah, I saw The Matrix. And yeah, so back to the second night. So the second night I saw myself sitting in the physical, but I heard all of my friends in another dimension, and it made me feel really weird. So I was just like, okay, I'm sitting right here and they're up here, does this mean that they left me? And then I started to feel like abandoned, and then that just like transformed the whole trip, and I was just sitting there like, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to be in this trip anymore, because I just felt like the huge energy of abandonment, and I kept like just feeling it super huge, and then it like started making me feel really uncomfortable, so I kept laying down, and then me laying down made me feel more uncomfortable, so I sat up, and then it was just me like going back and forth in between that, because I was just like feeling nothing but the energy of abandonment. And then another thing that I was letting bother me was everyone was puking around me. Now the first night this didn't bother me. The second night, because I was in a different vibration, I was a negative vibration, I was wondering like, oh, why am I not puking? And then I tried to like force myself to puke. So since I was forcing myself to do something instead of just breathing and sitting up and just like surrendering to whatever's happening, my trip turned out unfortunate because I was just like battling with my stomach to force something that it didn't even want to do, to the point that I kept gagging and nothing came out at all. And same as the first night, all I did was poop. I didn't puke, but I pooped in the bathroom. And yeah. So for the second night, due to me not surrendering that night and battling with the energy of abandonment and me wanting to be in control of my body, I got really tired because of that battle that I made for myself. So after that trip, I was just like sleeping, and I was like, and I just felt really strange to the point where I didn't want to talk to anyone, and I was just laying down and just feeling super drained because I just put myself through this long-ass, unnecessary battle. So, from that, what I learned in my ayahuasca trip, especially the first night, was 1, be very grateful for life. 2, I am an amazing being and I hold very amazing things within my DNA because my ancestors are amazing and great. And 3, none of this is really that serious, you know? If all feels wrong, or if all feels super chaotic, or if you feel pain, just take a moment to breathe, you know? Just breathe. And it won't be all that serious. And then 4, after seeing The Matrix, it's like I was already aware that my thoughts lead to where I am, but it was just like, let me see, there's like a greater thing that I'm within, and yeah, I'm controlling what I'm seeing, but this thing holds like the huge law that I must surrender to also. And so with that, it's just like, ayahuasca did transform me. It did make me realize that, you know, if I want something, just get it. It's not complicated. And if I don't know how to get it right now, then relax. And it'll come because I want to get it. And when I want something, it's not far from me. It's actually right here, right now. It's just that it's not exactly physical yet in my perception, but it really is. And it's coming right as I speak. So in that case, it's just like everything I have is already here. With that realization, and also with the gratefulness and the new with confidence, I felt completely transformed, and I was just ready to conquer the world. I'm saying was like past tense, like I'm not feeling like this right now. But yeah, honestly, like it did all of that. So ever since then, if anyone's been following me for a while, I've just been like being more like open and projecting my art out there, and then I'm also being more open with people, because before, like, I would kind of be very closed off and private, because I just had a previous habit of doing that. It was just like, we're all one big celestial family. It seems like we're going in different places, but we're all going to the same place. It's just that our dreams are different, but our dreams come from one place. So with that, it was just like, yo, it's good. Hey, yeah, that was my ayahuasca trip. And for whoever's watching this, I hope you get to experience ayahuasca in this lifetime. If you would like to, please contact me. My Instagram is Connie Kundalini, same as this channel. Everything's Connie Kundalini. And yeah.